Now, levelling up, the government wants it to be seen as its flagship programme, but right from the start there have been worries here in the south of England that it just means we lose out on money that's being sent north into those so-called red wall seats, even though some of our needs in some places may be just as great. As our Berkshire reporter Patrick O'Hagan has been finding out, the way it looks like money for youth services will be handed out isn't doing much to allay those fears.
1 and 2, over, boom, lift it up, ha!
10 years ago, the Waterside Centre in Newbury didn't even exist. It's now a hub of creativity. You can dance, sing, and even box here. It took time, patience, and no lack of money to get there.
£1.4 million later, we've made it watertight. We've put central heating in it, put Wi-Fi in it, and made it more fit for purpose in the current situation. So yeah, it's been a long journey to get here.
The centre's run by BerkshireYouth, a charity for 10 to 18-year-olds, which offers a number of more affordable leisure activities at places like the Waterside. It gives local teenagers somewhere they can mix with people beyond their usual social circle.
It's hard work, obviously, but at the same time, it gives you this sense of energy and excitement, and it just keeps me going, really.
And it's really helpful if you've had a bad week. You can come here and you forget, and it's just a place to almost escape and just have fun and forget and just be easy. It's easy.
No one's judging each other, and we're just really enjoying each other's company.
Ballet and things like that are so expensive, you just don't get access to them, so it's so nice to have somewhere to go where it's affordable and we can all join in and just have time to all together.
Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah.
Last month, the government announced that as part of its levelling up agenda, it would invest nearly £500 million in youth services, saying every young person should have access to the kinds of life-changing activities which expand your horizons. But David says Berkshire's relative prosperity is counting against it.
We're really fortunate or unfortunate that we live in the southeast, and we've not really seen any of that money come to young people in the southeast. So that 500 million won't be seen a great deal in Berkshire.
Bids for the first tranche of government funding have already been submitted, and while most of Berkshire hasn't had a look in, some areas of Reading have applied. The food bank at the Whitley Community Development Association helps people struggling to make ends meet. It's a place where the phrase levelling up is given short shrift.
We work every day with people who would love to be levelled up, and there is no chance. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Levelling up just isn't on the agenda here, it feels like, at all.
My kids' days. You're very welcome.
Even if Whitley and the centre Tricia Bennett runs do secure funding, she says it's unlikely to be anywhere near enough to make things better in the long term.
There's always been people in the south, even before it was as bad as it was, that have been struggling. It just feels like that's their lot now, and what's the point of getting angry and having an argument? You just have to find a way to manage.
The people who depend on the food bank can't afford to give their children the kind of life-changing activities which the government says everyone should have. Tricia says youth groups are doing what they can, but that without long-term investment, it's a battle they can never win.
Give them some hope, give them an opportunity to spend the time out of school actually in a positive, constructive way, understanding what their community is and learning how to play a part in their community, because they really want to. We have young people come here asking how they can help with the Creditable Award and things, but we want to see more of that, but we haven't got the capacity to do any more of that right now.
We usually have them.
Both Tricia Bennett and David Seward say that long-term investment, not just short-term injections of cash, is the best way forward. While welcoming the extra investment in youth services, David also feels a chance is being missed to ensure that future generations don't continue to fall behind their wealthier peers.
I thought levelling up would just give us some of that opportunity to say, well, here's a national strategy, we recognise the cuts that have come, and here's something to bolster and to support you going forward. But it's just not happening.
And we're fed up having plasters stuck on. We're really fed up in the short term. We need to invest for the future. It's not the young people alone, it's their children and their children's children. It's got to change permanently.
Good. Okay.
The government says that by 2025, every 11 to 18-year-old, no matter where they live, will have access to regular out-of-school activities. But youth services in Berkshire are sceptical, saying they're increasingly dancing in the shadow of the contemporaries to the north.